Hello, and welcome back to another episode. So when we left off, we had just finished our war with the Righteous League, and I'm actually feeling pretty good about going to war with the Auspicious Concord as well. On top of that, well, we do have to keep in mind that in the past, our southern vassals have had some stability problems with continuous rebellions. So what I think I'm going to do actually is leave one of my transport fleets and one of my combat fleets down here just in case. But I think I'll take the other two up north to engage the Righteous League. If we take or the Auspicious Concord. If we look at the Auspicious Concord, they're already at war with the Righteous League, and so they're not necessarily going to be ready for a war with me as well. We are also integrating our vassal, but importantly, I've got precognitive interface coming up very soon, and I want to wait until after that before I start a war. That way I have time to upgrade my ships. Which means I actually want to take these combat fleets and move one of them somewhere else, and I'll plan on rallying in that system. I don't have a factory too terribly close on this border. So I think what I want to do, making good progress from salvage as well. So I think what I want to do is, I think that is where I want to stage, but I think I'll put the fleet there for now. Precognitive interface is finished, so let's get another one started. Let's go with the collective self first. So what I really like about the precognitive interface, if you look, the advanced computer for the battleship gives 10% weapons damage. Precog gives 5% weapons damage, but also gives 5 to hit and 5 to tracking. Which, if you look at the fleet power, because fleet power doesn't take tracking, evasion, hit chance, any of that well, it kind of takes hit chance into equation, but it doesn't take fleet power, or it doesn't take tracking and evasion in, because you can't plan for that necessarily. It will look like a little bit of a loss to the battleship's damage, and on the cruisers it's a little different. On the cruisers it's chance to hit, and fire rate is the same, but it adds evasion. And since my cruisers are kind of my front line, having extra evasion I think is productive. So we'll get them upgrading and head there. This fleet upgrade and head there to rally with that transport. And then on the south end, we'll have them upgrade and then head back here. I'm really feeling like I feel like the chances are very good that we're going to have a rebellion there. If we look at our resources, we're actually doing pretty well, and we have an abundance of fleet capacity available. So while we prepare this road for war, we might as well do it upright. Click too many times there. So we'll get prepped. Our fleets are upgrading handily. This upgrade, because I'm only really changing the combat computer, is actually going to go very quickly as well. And we had a scientist die. It was our engineering scientist. We were researching materials, so I could get this sentient sentient AI assistant. Actually, I think I might, yeah, because he lived at 82 at the very least, which is a pretty good time. Acid burners I got from salvaging. Let's see, what other research? Okay, so the next one that comes up will be the Zro. Because I'm researching a bunch of wreckage, I'm getting a bunch of technology that the enemy was using, and I need to know which pop-ups I actually need to pay attention to. But two of the fleets are done upgrading, the two on the northern border. So let's start setting this up. I want Hydrobius. I want Biham. I'm going to slow the game down as well. I want Subra. I want Rithori. And I want Kuturn. Oh, shit. Okay, so there's 2 planets in Kuturn. So I can't take both of them, but if I do take what I've got now, it'll give me Banthari as well, which will be an extra planet to colonize. And so I'll go ahead and get on that. Okay. So we will declare this war because I'm feeling good enough about it. And first order of business is to get in enemy space. And we'll check here. No primitive civilizations. We'll check here. No primitive civilizations. Excellent. So we will take our northern transport fleet and move here. Normally splitting up like this is a pretty terrible decision. I'm actually going to change their orders to run around a little bit and then move in, which will give my combat fleet time to move forward and clear a path. Normally it would be a bad idea to do this, but the Auspicious Concord already had a hard time dealing with me, and I've gained a lot more power than they will have by now. And they were already at war with the Righteous League, so they're not likely to be in a good position to actually fight me at all. And that's the only real reason I feel comfortable splitting my fleets up this much, at least in the beginning of the war. Yeah, I can have him move in. It would be nice if I could have a way of suppressing factions in my vassals. That would be pretty fantastic too. Well, let's see, what does his ethics divergence even look like? Ooh, primitives. Yeah, see, he's enslaving people. And his population is correct. Yeah, see, he doesn't have a lot of the ethics divergence technologies that I have. That would probably explain it. I think they inherit the technologies of the former empire rather than the new one, or their liberator, which would largely explain why these people are so unstable to begin with. Ooh, so his 10k fleet has arrived. Let's see. Ooh, that cruiser's taking a good chunk of damage. I think that's largely from the Alpha Strike. That's really only a few hits from the bigger artillery. And I think that's largely what it is. And you can see he's got his wall of strikecraft here. They should be hitting my flak wall very soon. Yeah, you see the strikecraft just exploding. That's why I have all that flak. And we cleaned them up and did not even have a casualty. Excellent. Took out his whole fleet there. Zero distillation. That was the one we were researching. So now I think I'm going to grab the hyper shields. And these guys have finished rallying up. So we split them. So you can't merge fleets that are in combat. So if you do have a fleet that is fighting, you have to wait for the battle to finish before you can merge a new fleet with it. Which is why I didn't merge them in order top to bottom. Now let's actually see here. 37k absorbed by armor, 37k done to hull, 23k to shields, and you can see the kinetic artillery is the top in everything. Which, top in armor is kind of a bad thing, but it's mostly just a function of the fact that my kinetic artillery did so much more damage than my railguns, courtesy of their range. And that's one of the things I love about kinetic artillery, is that they just have no problem dispensing sweet, sweet kinetic justice. And no rebellion down there yet. Maybe I'm wrong. I would very much like to be wrong about that. But I'm not confident in my vassal's ability to be stable as a political entity. I don't know what this destroyer's plan is. There's only one way this could possibly go. But hey, what are you gonna do? So fortifications are down to 2,400 from 4,200. As the game progresses, generally speaking, it takes longer and longer to siege planets because technology will increase their fortification coefficients. They also get a bonus depending on the amount of population on a planet, but you don't really increase that. Once you get all of the tile blockers, there's nothing left to increase the population on a planet. It's just the more advanced your shields are. Actually, I can show it. I'll land them. So planetary fortification toughness, every level of shields has one of these. And so as your shield levels increase, your planetary toughness throughout your entire empire will also increase. There's also the planetary shield generator you can build, but I've been deliberately avoiding that because I think it's crap. Generally speaking, if you can't win the space fight in time to deal with their siege, then chances are you're not going to stand a chance anyway, and having your planet last longer doesn't really help. Let's see. Ooh, hey. Wait. Something... I just got an alert for a vassal popping up, which is usually a rebellion. But I don't see one yet. Alright, so our sector doesn't have that planet in it. So we're gonna have them go. Enemy planet secure. We'll get another war pop up down here too, if there is a rebellion. So we don't necessarily have to keep looking down there. I don't know why I do. But this planet is already bombed to hell. And there it is. Where are they? Okay. So now we send our ships in the south down to deal with the rebellion. Yeah. See, I remembered the instability down there. And a lot of that just boils down to the fact that there are significantly different ethos. And so the populations are just tremendously unhappy because they don't like the way the laws are set up. And the AI doesn't adapt to its populations at all. It kind of sets its laws and says this is the way it's going to be. And the problem with that is that a lot of times they just get rebellions all day. And let's see what we've got going on here. This planet's already going to be at 0 for fortification, so I don't think I said it, but you probably saw me just tell my transports to land there. Yeah, see? Look at that, they're occupying so much. How are you so bad, vassal? So bad. And these primitives, totally going to welcome them to the Empire. The only way that I really know how. Alright, so we're going to put down rebellions there, and that kind of confirms my suspicion that that's going to be happening. And so we're just going to keep a fleet there for a while. Let's see how we're doing on the victory condition. We have 60 of the 98 planets. Okay. I do think I'm going to be trying to play through this a little faster, mostly because I want to finish this before the next patch. With the Paradox games, you can roll back to a previous patch if you feel so inclined. So I will be able to continue even if the patch comes out, but I want to not have to do that. So I want to try and finish this game, even if all the videos don't get posted in time before the patch. I don't know when they're doing the expansion. I don't believe they've actually announced a date yet. The next expansion does look very interesting. If you haven't checked out the Stellaris Dev Diaries, I highly recommend it. And just go ahead and search on Google for the Stellaris wiki, and in there they link to all of the Dev Diaries. And I believe the Stellaris wiki is an officially maintained document from Paradox, so you can pretty well trust the content you find there as well. even if it is a little out of date from time to time. Yeah, so they're bombing primitives. Stop bombing the primitives. That's stupid. Primitives literally can't hurt you. You're in space. They can't do anything. You don't need to bomb them. Alright, so the Rebels planet, go ahead and say hello to them. Yeah, look at all that. It's just a bunch of rebels and slaves. Look at that. Ugh. It's gross. It's gross. Yeah, I would like to be able to have a bit more influence on the policies that the Empire takes. I'm not a big fan of how the AI behaves with slavery. I'd like to be able to tell in Empire creation not to have slaves, even if you are a collectivist. I think that might be neat. And that's close enough. We'll go ahead and land. The army's feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about it. Let's do this. And the rebellion is squashed. So we're going to embark here and move back up to our world. Silly lizards. Alright, but if it goes the way it was before... Ooh, frontier outpost. Okay. If the Empire stability in the south goes the way that it has been, then there will be plenty of rebellions left to handle. Admiral gains gale speed. That's a good trait to have. Gale speed increases your every ship's evasion, sublight speed, and combat speed. And sublight speed is very useful for running down people who think they're cute, and reminding them that they are in fact not. This is the transport fleet that I will be moving there. They said they think they can win, but I don't like it. These guys are back to bombing primitives, so what I'm going to have them do instead is go destroy this outpost, and then head up to Kuturn. Kuturn, of course, has 2 stars in it, or 2 planets in it. This fleet is at 98% health, and it's mostly on the 1 battleship and 1 cruiser. Yeah, I'm feeling alright about that. I don't think he has really a whole lot in here. Yeah, 2.3k station and 2 or roughly 1.5k spaceports. That's not gonna destroy any of my ships. In the meantime, though, it will let me punch a hole and mess some stuff up. And my armies are gonna be at full anyway, and the planet will be bombed a little bit before they get there. What's even on? Oh yeah, it's just militia. They're done. They don't have a chance. And this is a bug that happens sometimes. It shows occupation by somebody that's not the correct. If you zoom in on the system and then zoom back out, it usually corrects it. I'm not sure. I can't help but imagine that Paradox is planning on resolving that issue. Actually, we'll go there and then here. Oh no, even better, we'll have this guy go salvage these. Because I don't really need them helping with research that much. And this salvage is actually worthwhile. Proton torpedoes, yep. Getting all sorts of stuff. Picking up a lot of technology from the Righteous League. I am happy with that. And now my transport has caught up in progress with my combat fleets. So what I'm going to do is have them hang out there for a moment, let the fleets get to waiting for the 1 combat fleet to clear out this outpost, and then jump on that military station so that my transports can move into the system. I did not expect some of the stuff to go so quickly. Yeah, and you can see his borders get crushed by that. Nice, nice. You are independent. You're... That's weird. Why are you in that war? That's weird. Alright. But more importantly... Yep. Still stable down there. So we'll get a so if it goes like it did last time, we'll get a notification, and then a little bit later we will actually see the war pop up. The vassal is doing very well. Kingdom of Euchromia, huh? Guess he upgraded to his advanced government form. Interesting, interesting. And now move there. This combat fleet, or this system has been cleared out, for the most part at least. Yeah, it says just garrisons, even with 90% reduction. So, having additional fortifications makes it take longer to bomb the planet, but it doesn't actually increase the effectiveness of a fully fortified planet. It's always capped at 90%. So with the garrisons on this planet, and only garrisons, I can land with the 90%, still crush them, and move on. Oh man, there's even an uncolonized world in there? That's going to be such a good system when I do take it. It's happening. That is happening. And so you can see, even with 90% reduced damage taken, garrisons just crumble before xenomorphs. As my fleet runs around, just destroying everything in the system. They're dangerous and hateful. And this planet is mine. So I can just embark, and I'll just go ahead and tell them to land. I think this is probably all garrisons too. Yeah. And the fleet is sieging it, so they'll get a bit more health back on the way over. See, there's another frontier outpost there, and this war's at 50%. It's going pretty well, but I do think I'm going to have to insert a break in the middle. We finished researching Zro. Ah, yes, we do have 2 Zro. Excellent. Where are they? Because I was explaining it before. Zro often pops up around black holes. At least I thought. Maybe it's somewhere else? This is dark matter. Dark matter is interesting too. I don't know if I mentioned that. The dark matter increases all of your physics output by 15%, which is extremely handy. I don't know where my Zro is. I have 2. 2 Zro is pretty serious. Construction ships idle, and some of these planets need stations. Yeah, I am just at a lot. Oh, there we are. Both of them are from the same system? Wow. Interesting. This is one hell of a research station. I did not really look at that. Both of them. Look at that. Okay, so maybe Zro comes from gas giants?
Special project complete.
Interesting, interesting. Alright. So, we finished invading here. A while ago, apparently. So we're going to invade here, and you can see there's primitives in this system too. It's disgusting. And this combat fleet, I'm going to send up north. I mentioned it before, I like taking someone completely out of the war. And so what I'm doing now is occupying all of Centomeroy's things, so that I can completely remove him. I finished researching something. I don't know what it is. This will be fast. I've gotten like 90% progress on sentient combat AI. But if you remember, so the precognitive interface gives me 5% weapons damage, 5 tracking, and 5 accuracy. Sentient combat computer is the other N-tier researchable one. It gives you 10% weapons damage and 5% fire rate. So it'll calculate her much better with sentient combat AI. But for my taste, I prefer the sentient or the precognitive because of the accuracy. That kind of boils down to my old min-maxing days, because every missed shot is very serious, and the weapons I'm using aren't terribly accurate to begin with. If we take a look at the ship designer, the artillery only has 70% accuracy and 5% tracking. So I can increase the tracking to 11 there, and then another 9, so 20 tracking, which means I'll have 100%, or I completely eliminate the evasion from battleships. Then the accuracy, I think the chance to hit this is one of a very small number of actual technologies that increase chance to hit. And so 75% chance to hit versus 70, it always feels stronger than the straight up math would seem to imply, which I really hate saying because I like math and I like min-maxing. But sometimes you just kind of have to admit that accuracy, I hold 5% accuracy above 5% damage pretty consistently. And so we're going to pop this frontier outpost because we don't need to bomb the fucking primitives. Jesus Christ. And then we're going to head up here, I guess.
Research complete.
Yeah, this guy's got a bunch of stupid colonies. Alright, so we finished the sentient computers because it was already 90% done. See, I don't really need or want any of these. I don't really like extra large weapons, and I can explain that during peacetime. I'll get proton torpedoes because it's pretty close to being done. And proton torpedoes are neat. Ooh, Stellarite Devourer, another Leviathan. I wonder what you do, he says, knowing what they do. And alright, I guess I'm done salvaging down in the south. So I'll send the Explorer home. Like I said before, I don't like having my Explorer on Auto Explorer while I'm at war. It seems like an invitation for bad things to happen. And how's he feeling about landing? Not great. What do we have here? Yeah, so he has a bunch of defense armies in addition to the garrisons. So my xenomorphs, even though the fortifications are halfway down, the xenomorphs aren't terribly fond of the idea. That's alright, we can watch from here. Wait for the fortifications to get low enough, and then have the xenomorph armies punch right through the enemy. Yeah, these guys are fielding quite a fleet. But I think I need to clear out some of these Leviathans too. But that's alright. And boom. Send our dudes to the ground, because the ground is where the good times happen. Yeah, look at that. I guess he was driving some transports through and got them caught. I'd make fun of him, but I've not been doing well with my transports this game either. That's alright. That's alright. So we'll go there. And what I'm actually going to do is, once I finish taking this planet, which shouldn't take long. Yeah, that's coming along pretty nicely. I still would like to have an overview of the number and the average health of the armies on the planet, instead of having to just mouse over all of them and kind of if it. But planet is captured, so we embark, we move to the edge of the system that's closest. And so what I'm waiting for is for these two to switch to either repairing or idle. Oh yes, I completed research of living metal. Excellent. I'm happy now. We get the gauze cannon for our cruisers because I'm not even sure why that hasn't popped up yet. See, they're repairing, these guys are idle. So now we'll go to Ritigus. Alright, so now that that's done, we can see I have 5 living metal, all in... Oh, what the fuck is it? Cyrex Alpha, there we go. 5 living metal. Excellent, excellent. And I don't think there's any living metal anywhere else in the galaxy. There's an entire... That's entirely possible. The living metal, I think I mentioned that before too. We finished proton torpedoes. Let's get more energy credits. Perfect. Alright, so the only real place to get living metal is on these ruined ring worlds. And the only place that those pop up are precursors, like Cybrax Alpha, or Fallen Empires. And since I turned off Fallen Empires for this game, the only place I would be likely to find them is precursors. I was actually expecting to not have living metal at all of this game. I'm delightfully surprised that it popped up. That planet is bombing nicely. The Centomeroi are getting their ship pushed in, but it has gotten to be a bit of a long video. Or it's certainly longer than ideal, so I'm going to insert a break at the top of the year and call that sufficient. Human Republic declared Centomeroi their rival. The Human Republic. Fucking, oh, yeah. Oh, they're kind of a person. Alright. I was thinking it was like one of these tiny guys here. But, yeah, humans seem to be like all over the place. These guys are human even. I don't understand. Like humans are all over. It's weird. We finished taking that planet, so we're going to go ahead and embark. And send the transport fleet from Ritigus to Pitahir. And pause the game, because it is past the first of year. And we'll move in to engage that system. Alright, so thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying the latest war against the Auspicious Concord. And have a good one.